After a long wait, Season 7 of Sea of Thieves is finally here. Alongside the new season comes the highly anticipated Captaincy update. You can finally name your ship and set sail as a pirate captain. This particular update is something the community have been desperate for ever since the game first released. It was actually the first update that Rare had originally planned for the game, but plans changed, and ever since it's mentioned by the developers way back in the day, players of the game have had huge expectations for the Captaincy update. Now that it's finally here, let's take a quick look at what's new in the game, some bugs and issues to be aware of, and some potential updates coming to the game in the near future. Hello pirates, my name is Ellie and I post regular Sea of Thieves videos on this channel. If you want to stay up to date with the game, then remember to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when I put up a new video. Let's get into the update, shall we? Buying a ship. So the first thing you'll be able to do in the new update is buy your very own ship. The ships are 250k for a sloop, 375 for a brig, and 500,000 for a galleon. There has been some discussion over the cost of the ships and whether they're too expensive or not expensive enough. Personally, I think the pricing is okay. A lot of casual players will have something to work toward, and bear in mind that you can buy more than one of each ship type, providing you get the first one you buy to legendary status. So owning a fleet of ships will be the real flex. I've seen some interesting suggestions, such as the cost of the ships increasing with each purchase. So for example, the first sloop you buy is 250k, the second would perhaps be 300k. I'm not sure how this would work with galleons, given that they're already 500k a pop, but at the moment the pricing of the ships seems pretty fair to me. Naming a ship. Next up, you get to name your ship. It's limited to 20 characters, and this seems to be fine for most people, and I've seen some really great names on the seas, and it's been cool seeing everyone's creativity with this. Make sure you're set on your ship's name before committing though, because it does cost you real money to change the name with a name change deed potion from the Pirate Emporium. Rare have confirmed that if you do choose to use a potion and change the name of your ship, you will not lose any of the progress or cosmetics tied to that ship. Unfortunately, and I think this was probably expected, there have been some instances of certain players naming their ships inappropriately. At the moment, the best way to deal with any inappropriate ship names that you see on the sea is to take a screenshot or record the footage of the captain banner appearing and submit the info over on the Rare support page. The good news is that executive producer Joe Neat has confirmed on Twitter that Rare are in the process of developing an in-game reporting feature. This is something that has been long requested, even before Captaincy. Reporting a player in-game would make it much easier for us to report players who break the terms of service, so it's great to hear that they're working on this. Captain's Voyages. These new voyages are available from the shipwright exclusively for captains, and they're essentially a mix of regular voyages that you can buy from the individual faction vendors, as well as some combination type voyages called commissions. The captain's voyages are stored on your ship's bookcase, and it's best described as a massive extension to your pirate's voyage inventory. This definitely makes it way easier to set off on some voyages without having to return to the outpost because you realise that your crew doesn't have any voyages on them. There are some bugs that are being ironed out at the moment. For example, stash voyages are currently not available but will be added or fixed in a future update. Milestones. Milestones are a new way for players to track progress and earn cosmetics. There are pirate milestones which you can earn on your own captain's ship or on any other ship as a crew member. And then there are milestones for your ship specifically, which are tied to your captained ship and track the progress of things you achieve while you are captain of your ship. There are a ton of new milestones and none of them are retroactive, so anything achieved before Captaincy update will not have counted, except for one milestone, the Shrouded Ghost kills. It's pretty cool to have things to work towards again for those of us who are at the max of every faction. The achievements required for each milestone are pretty hefty, and so I think they are definitely designed to be worked towards over several seasons or even years in some cases. This area is quite controversial, as I've seen many players upset that these milestones haven't recognised any achievements prior to the Captaincy update, and so many of us have been playing for 4 or so years now, have not got any milestones unlocked. I can certainly see where they're coming from, but I understand why Rare have done it this way, and it's nice to have new achievements to unlock and new cosmetics to work towards. It's a little bit like there are current commendations in the game where you have to be Pirate Legend to achieve them. So you may have killed the Hungering One, multiple times, but the commendation for killing the Hungering One as a Pirate Legend doesn't start unlocking until you hit Pirate Legend. So these new milestones are essentially the same sort of thing, except they don't start unlocking until you're actually a captain of your ship. One issue to be aware of at the moment is that there are some pirate and ship milestones which are temporarily disabled due to some issues. Rare are planning a fix for a future update for the following milestones. So the quest board maps completed, which is a ship and player milestone. captain's ship spotted, ship and player milestone, provisions sold to the hunter's call, sea forts conquered, and then repairs made, which is a player-only milestone, but that they are all currently disabled and will not progress when completing the required action. Cosmetics and saving ship loadouts. Alongside the milestones, Rare also added a huge number of trinkets and cosmetics for your ship. There are literally 21 pages of trinkets and things to add to your ship to show off your accomplishments. You can buy a good amount of decorations for your ship which aren't tied to any milestones and so should be available for you right away. I've definitely found a few that I really like, and I've got my eye on quite a few of the specific milestone ones to work towards. You can also now use the shipwright for a range of services, including fixing your ship to remove any damage, saving your cosmetics across play sessions, and even stocking your ship before you set sail. Some players have said the cost of stocking the ship with supplies is a little high, and I tend to agree for things like planks and cannons, but the food is definitely worth it in my opinion. I was initially a bit worried when I saw the option to buy food at the shipwright in the trailers, but it is actually really balanced, the amount of food that they give you, and the meat isn't cooked, so you still have to take the time to cook it all up for your PvP food, which is good. There have been some issues with the saving of ship cosmetics across play sessions, and Rare have said they're actively investigating the issue and will update us when they've got a fix. Logbooks. Logbooks are a new addition, and they sit on your voyage table and track your accomplishments during that play session as well as historic sessions. You set ship and pirate milestones to track on your logbook from within the milestone menu, and then your achievements are on show for anyone who takes a look at your logbook. I think there was initially some confusion as to how this system works, and it wasn't immediately clear how to track milestones within the logbook. There have also been some reports of players' logbooks not updating with the details of the current play session. Rare have said that switching out the milestones tracked will fix this, but they have investigated the issue and they will be implementing a fix in a future update. I've also seen some players unhappy that you're not able to put them away at the end of a session like you can an emissary flag. I think the concern here is that people will be able to work towards the milestones for handing in logbooks without actually sinking ships. Other potential issues with the logbooks not registering their worth properly at the moment. There are several categories of logbook depending on how many days at sea the ship was before it sunk or the players logged off. According to the Sea of Thieves wiki, the logbooks are worth varying amounts as follows. So a noteworthy captain's logbook is worth 300 gold, an accomplished captain's logbook 2,500, remarkable captain's logbook 10,000, and an extraordinary captain's logbook 25,000. Now, it seems to be based on how long your ship has been at sea in in-game days. I would assume also this is based on not sinking for those days as well. And I think the extraordinary captain's logbooks are going to be pretty hard to find. But a single item worth 25,000 is fairly rare in the game anyway, so I think that's pretty balanced. We just have to hope that Rare fix this soon, because the only logbooks I've found have been noteworthy, even when they have exceeded the in-game days of 6. Sovereign's Turning Point. One of the more significant gameplay changes added to the game with Captaincy is the Sovereigns. This new faction only deal with captains and their crew members, and they offer a super fast way of selling loot. You get 100% of the gold and reputation, and you even get emissary rep if you're rocking a flag for one of the other factions. The only caveats are that you still can't sell Hunter's Call items or Reaper's Bones items here. For those, you'll have to go to Reaper's Hideout or a sea post. This really does affect how quickly you can turn in loot, and there has been a lot of talk about whether or not a tax should have been applied to offset the benefit of being able to turn in so quickly. Personally, I think it's okay, because it's a nice benefit of running a captained ship, but I understand the opinion that there should be a tax of some kind for using this. Let me know what you think of the new Sovereign turn-in. Do you think there should be a penalty, or do you think it's okay as it is? Let me know down in the comments. There are brand new Xbox and Steam achievements with the Captaincy update for a total of 300 gamer score, so for the achievement hunters among us, there are a nice new set of things to achieve. Hiding ship names and captaincy info and tips. So the feature that a lot of content creators use to hide names and gamer tags will also work on ships with this update. It's a bit of a shame that this means hiding your own ship's name, but I understand why, and I think most creators have a toggle option available to them. You can also find a range of tips and information for captaincy in the newly added menu, helpful for checking things like what happens when your captain leaves the server, etc. Other known issues to be aware of. So there are some other bugs and issues to be aware of since the update, including some problems for some players who purchase a ship but then are unable to find it during purchasing. Rare have noted the issue and have a fix. So after purchasing a ship for captaincy, if your ship becomes unavailable during the purchasing process and the gold has been taken, then don't worry because your ship hasn't been lost. Basically, to resolve it, you reboot Sea of Thieves, and when you enter the My Ships area, proceed to purchase another ship, but from there it will basically finish the purchasing process for your original ship at no additional cost. Rare are also aware of some issues with the Plunder Pass rewards. This supposedly has now been resolved and all the items should be added to your account when you next enter Sea of Thieves. So if you were having problems where the wheel cannons or cannon flare wasn't being rewarded but you had reached the required renown level, then this should now be fixed. Server performance issues. So as with most big updates, there were some server issues on day one, but things seem to be evening out now. Rare did mention some performance issues that they're aware of which can cause some lagging and ping spikes. I've definitely experienced some ping spikes while in combat over the last few days, so hopefully that will even out over the course of the next week or so. Personally, I think the Captaincy update is one of the best feeling updates the game has ever brought to us. The banner and music that pops up when you approach your ship, the banner you see when spying another captain's ship on the horizon, the customization of your ship, the milestones, the sense of pride you have in your ship when you've given it a name. You find yourself actually caring more about your ship, how it looks, the way you play, and I think that was always the main intention of this update. In terms of the feel of this update, Rare have got it spot on. It's a really great feeling update, and I've heard lots of people talking about how it has brought them back to feelings they had when they first played the game. I think the overall concept of owning a ship and captaining your own vessel is fantastic, and I think they have done an exceptional job with this side of things. The only small criticism I have is to do with the system side of things, primarily the UI, for example. It's a real shame that an update as big as this one couldn't have also brought with it fresh new menus, a new UI with easier to see and understand commendations, especially with the new milestone system. We're still in a position of looking at a locked cosmetic and reading a bunch of text to see what milestone or commendation name you have to unlock, and then heading to another menu to find that commendation or milestone to find out what you actually need to do to get it. I really do feel it could be cleaner than this, and it would mean pirates would spend less time in their menus and more time actively working towards their achievements. I'm still holding out hope that in a future update the UI will get a nice overhaul and make things clearer and easier for players. That about covers it for the Captaincy update specifically. There are of course new additions with the Season 7 update, such as the rebalancing for sloops, the gameplay additions for Season 7 and the Season Pass, Plunder Pass, and of course the Pirate Emporium update, which I will cover in my next video, so stay tuned for that. If you liked the video, then please do leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more Sea of Thieves content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the seas.